Hey, yo, Ran, turn that up.
What's up, real world? It's your girl Dayla. Welcome back to Gotta Have That Podcast. Yeah. Today it's a little quick one too. Like so long story short, let's put it this way. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So for the past 2 weeks, emotionally, mentally, I have been working out. I have been working out. Lost my grandfather 2 weeks ago. And for those who know, especially grandparents, losing a grandparent is not easy. I'm sure I don't even want to think about losing a parent, but like losing a grandparent, just talking about it could definitely put tears in my eyes. So I'm not going to stay on the subject too long, but that's what happened. For those who sent love to my family, and I greatly appreciate it for those who knew him and, had a connection with him. All love for sure. So I've been grieving. I'm pretty aware enough to know that I've been grieving. When it was my grandma that I had lost, I knew about grieving, but that's when I really learned what grieving was. So the last 2 weeks has just been, that's really all I can say about it. So I did not record like I usually do, plan to, supposed to, right? And I wasn't too mad at myself about it, but I was irritated because it's like, we cannot fall into that again. Even... when you have PTSD of a relationship, for those who've been cheated on, or, just a bad relationship went left, terrible ending, all of that great stuff, and you're just like, never again, not doing that. That's how I feel about, depression, or, just, being emotionally blocked off, going into this little wall, this 4-wall thing I built at some point in my life, right? That's how I feel about that. Because it wasn't pretty, right? And I promised myself when I started really working my way out of it that nothing I could, don't ever let anything else take you back there. And literally months after that is when my grandma passed, in 2018. And I worked hard. It was hard. Most of the stories, on the first episode, if you haven't watched the first episode, definitely go back, watch it. It's a wonderful episode, as well as the second one and all of that. But those stories that I've talked about, and those who've follow me on Instagram or Facebook, the times that I did Words in 4K, something that I'll explain real quick in a minute. But the stories that I had on there, in those times, that's the time frame that I was going through those things. One of my favorite poems that I've wrote, called Holding On, that, the story of how that even came, it's during that time, so it was just a dark time for me, but I was working my way out of it. And when this happened, it hit different because, again, just being completely honest at this point, because that's really all I want and can do. But I would be lying if I said I was crazy close to my granddad. He was on my dad's side. But that was my dog still. You feel me? Regardless, that was my dog. And anytime I hung with him, it was just learning that, oh, I get this certain thing from him. Or that's probably in me. I just haven't explored it yet. You know what I mean? Things of that sort. The one thing I remember when I really started getting into pool, I love playing pool, when I started getting into pool, I called him like, hey, granddad, like, I want to play pool with you. Like, I'm learning to play pool so I can be up there enough to at least play with you. Granddad, I'm not touching the table until I feel like I can at least keep up with you. You dig? And I did get to do that, thankfully. But yeah, so when this happened, for anybody who lost a grandparent, like, you know, grieving process is tough. It's tough. So in these past 2 weeks, I was aware enough to know that I was grieving. But it still don't make it no easier. So like I said, I wasn't recording and things like I was supposed to be. And I was just like, bruh, but that don't mean, because going back to that promise, that does not mean that I just don't do anything. You know what I mean? That I just don't post up and then don't tell them the reason to post up that I didn't post. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do better with marketing and all of that. I'm very new to all of this. Like, I say it all the time. This is very new to me. A bit uncomfortable to me, but I'm very much comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's like one thing that I strive for. Because that's where you grow. If you're somebody that was like, what? Why would you do that? Or I don't want to be uncomfortable. I like being comfortable type thing. Like in a mentality way, in an emotional, spiritual way, like to be challenged and, you know, rise above. That's what I mean by that. Not like uncomfortable in clothes or in a place because you think something about to pop off or something. Nothing like that. But that's just where you grow the most, you know. And once I learned that, it was like, okay, I have to do that. I have to just I just have to go for it and just, you know, if you're uncomfortable with it, ask for help. If you're supposed to be out of it, you'll get out of it because you asked for help. You ask God, hey God, let me know, you know, guide me, all of that, and you actually follow him. He'll put you in the right places, but some of those places are not comfortable. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I didn't record like that, so I really didn't have an episode I didn't even have a video to really put up. So I'm at work and I'm just like, bruh, I have like no more time to record something before the day of. So what am I gonna do? Like, I don't want to go back to that. Again, bringing up the PTSD of like depression, basically. Like, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to slip into that because that's how it happens. You don't just jump in. You don't just appear there. It's slow. It starts once you really like learn where it comes from. That thing be like far back. Like, bro, what? Dang. So that's why I was feeling that way. That's why I was starting to do stuff like that. So I was like, bro, I don't want to do that because I know where that goes. I know how that goes, and I don't want that. So, I was just like, all right, I still got to put up something. What's the something? It's a new week and we got it. Like, I already know you got to do better. You had your week last week. You allowed yourself to have your week. God allowed you to have your week, but now we got to get back to something. We got to, you know, keep pushing. Right. So I was like, what am I going to put up? Like, what am I going to do? And instantly poetry was dropped into my spirit, and it was really not even poetry. It was words in 4K. And I'm like, okay, instead of writing on there, I'm not going to sit on there and write because then it'll be mostly quiet or whatever. How about I just read a poem I've already written, and whatever type of conversation comes from it, let's go with that. Let's just go with it. Let's just flow, because that's what this is about anyway, right? So I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, what poem? And the poem dropped in my spirit. I'm going to read you Rushing. This is literally where I am in a way, or like was. This is what I went through last week, basically. But the time that I wrote this, matter of fact, I got the date on here, May 28th, 2022. So almost a month ago. I mean, almost a year ago. Oh, Jesus. Almost a year ago. But when I was writing this, I was in the beginning of like, oh, I am tripping. Almost 2 years ago. My goodness. Yo, that's sad. I bet y'all was like, year ago, girl, it's 2024. All right. So almost 2 years ago. This is around the time. Matter of fact, I had already graduated by then. Yes, I had already graduated by then. So at this time, I'm in the beginning of like going forward. I'm starting this. By this point, I am contacting people. Hey, thinking about doing a podcast. Well, no, can't say thinking. I'm doing a podcast. Could you be a guest? Would you like to be a guest? You have not watched the first episode, definitely go back, watch the first episode, and I talk about this time and the start, like the lead into it and all of that, like how this started. But that's where I'm at, right? So I knew where I was trying to get to. I knew where I was going. In a way, I knew, like, I like to do analogies. I like to, like, make it visual because I'm just that type of person. If I'm at a stoplight or whatever, and I'm going left, right, or straight, I had to make sure I did my right stuff. But yes, left, right, or straight. At this point, I know which direction I'm going. Do I know what's in that direction? Do I know what's coming in, like, down the road? No, and I'm okay with that. At this point, like, I'm going purely on faith. That's all I have. I literally have nothing else. I have nothing else. I have no choice. I have no choice but to trust God at this point, right? I trusted him to graduate. We was out here. We graduated. So I'm like, all right, we out here. Whatever you say, do, my boy. I'm doing it. We here. I'm locked in. And yet emotionally, it was something. I'm just like, I'm going in. I'm dropping videos. I'm writing. I'm plotting on this. I'm hitting up the people. But it was like, I just felt like I was rushing. I felt like I was trying to rush myself. And this beautiful piece literally came out. If you follow me on Facebook, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure I posted it on there again. Again, I'm not good with marketing. I'm not good with social media. Pray for me. I'm trying to do better. But if you follow me on there, then you've seen me post this up. You've seen me read it. And I don't know if I ever told y'all I was a poet. I don't know if I really said that in the first video. I tend not to tell people everything that I do. It's not on purpose. Unless you, like, really ask me, and then I just tell you, like, everything I can think of that I do. Just in case you need me for something. Nah. But, so yeah, I'm gonna get into it. It's called Rushing. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I know you see me rushing. If you must know, I have somewhere to be. That's my supposed great place. I see it. I know it's there for me, but you're in my way. I've asked you politely to move, and even had times that I've attempted to do it myself, then allowed you to regain your power. So this time, I brought my greatest help. God, I wish I was talking to somebody else. Even my haters. Anyone except the person that it is. But no, it's me. Yes, me. One of your most precious kids. I listen in our talks, but still allow fear to follow me at a stalk. With knowing some of my possibilities and seeing timelines around me, I feel like I need to hurry, so I'm rushing. At these moments, I felt like I've been running on a treadmill at some of its highest speeds, feeling like there's been little to no progress. But I hear you say, now let's go try those feet. Completely believe in me. Fear no consequence. Be you and walk. You as your own enemy will be further from you than just a stalk. No worries as long as you don't worry. If you do, come to me, and me only. Everyone don't need to be in your story. What they need will be in your results. Fully trust in me, then trust and believe in what I put in you. You know I got this. I know what I'm doing. It's open door season. Would I lead you to nothing? Now, get your bed and walk. Stop with all this rushing. Man. Got to me. Yeah. Again, that's where I've been these past 2 weeks. Like, when I'm focused on something, and I'm sure I'm not the only person, but when I'm like, comment, let me know if you're one of these people. When I am focused, nothing can throw me off but what I allow to throw me off. If I look over there because I wanted to, for whatever reason it is. Again, I always speak in like analogies, like I love to make things visual. So when I talk like that, just visualize it with me, you know? Whether it's a race, a drive, whatever your journey is, whatever you want to be in or be doing to get there. But yeah, like when I look off to the side, you know, or I try to stop it so I can enjoy something that is not able to come with me, that is not able to get in the car with me, that's not the baton that I'm running with. Again, whatever it is, like, that's when I get thrown off. And I get irritated at myself so bad. Not as bad as I used to. Like, I'm not as toxic to myself as I used to be, thankfully. But I do get angry. Like last week, I was a bit disappointed in myself because I literally would have times that I'm thinking to myself, you really could be in the studio right now, just talking. You enjoy doing it. You like doing it. Why not just get up? And it was like, I don't want to get up. And I had to realize, for one, well, I'll keep that as a gem. Because we almost there anyway. So today it was like, no, I didn't get up. No, I didn't record like I, needed to. And the time that I tried to record, literally things happened. Like it was the day that I did try to record, it was raining terribly, like bad. And you could literally hear it as I'm playing it back. And I'm like, I'm not about to post that up. And then you could kind of tell what I could feel. So I feel like you could tell that I don't even want to be up here talking. And I'm like, I don't want to give that out. I don't want to give that content out. I don't want to give that energy out because I've been telling them this is the place you want to be. This is the podcast you want to look at. I'm the person that you want to, that you want to be your, well, not that you want to be your dog, but I want you to know that we're here together. And yes, that's authentic. Yes, okay, they'll see your emotions, but who wants to sit there and look at you not want to be on the camera? So I just stopped and I went on about my weekend because again, this month is very busy for me. In wonderful ways though, like it's graduations, birthdays, like it's a lot going on. Shows is just beautiful. Like, and not even like me personally. It's not happening to me personally. It's just my loved ones, people that I love, truly loved. So it's like, okay, I still have that to make me laugh, to make me smile. I still get to be around people that I can hold on to, people I can lean on, people I can cry on. So yeah, I will use, I'm going to utilize that because throughout the week, I'm here by myself for real. So it's like, which is fine. Please don't take that as like, oh, we need to move up there. No. It's like, no. But like, it's me and God. And last week was a week that I was just quiet. I was quiet. The week before that, I was quiet. I had no words. I didn't have much to say. And I'm talking a bit more now. Because this is a new week. So it's like I really, had to check in with myself as you do. As you have to, as you should. Hey. I gave myself grace for last week. Like, God's grace is the greatest grace. Don't get me wrong. And again, I was going to use this as a gem, but that's fine because we're literally almost there. But you have to give yourself grace, bro. You have to slow down, which is why I read rushing, because rushing is not always trying to hurry up and get to a point. Like at this time when I wrote this, 2022, I'm trying to get to a point. I'm trying to get into the motion where I feel like I'm doing something. You know, I can hear people say, I'm proud of you. I just graduated from college at the time. So, you know, the proud of yous and your grandma would be proud. That's things that I loved hearing and things that really meant a lot to me, because the people that's telling me that they're proud, those are the people that I love making proud, you know. But when it came to how Dayla felt about Dayla, are you proud of you? I was proud that I graduated, but I also knew God got me out of that. That wasn't because Dayla, like, not saying I didn't do my work or nothing. I tried as best as I could. I definitely did. But it wasn't my grades that got me on that stage. That was literally God. Like, my grades were good, but like, I needed volunteer hours. College students, if you're in college, if your requirement is to give, I don't know if everybody do that. I went to a HBCU, so I don't know if it was just my HBCU, all HBCUs, or just all colleges. But if your college requires you to do volunteer work, do that. Please get it done. I banked on a system that they had, and because I'm like, I can do volunteer work easy. I go home all the time. It's different things that I can and have done home. That's volunteer work. Feed the hungry, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. All of this great stuff. I banked on a system that changed. I don't know when it changed, but when I found out it changed, I had like 3 or 4 months to get, like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 105, 205, something like that. And they're counting by like 3s and 5s. Like the most you get is like 5 points. And I'm like, bruh, how am I going to do that? Nothing but God, I promise you. So, yes, I was happy that I was graduating, that I had graduated. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure I brought this up in the first episode. But at my graduation party, as I'm enjoying, I'm literally thinking, what's next? When, like, I know what's next. I know what you've told me, because by this point we done already had a conversation of what was, the podcast and everything. But it's the start of what's next. I'm not quitting my job no time soon. That won't be smart. So, I'm trying to get that plan into order of strategically getting it done. Here's the thing that I wasn't being honest about with myself. I can't, especially then, I wasn't that consistent. Like, I wasn't on myself about being consistent that much. I hated that I wasn't consistent. I hated even admitting or even wanting to admit or even thinking about admitting the fact that I wasn't consistent when it came to not anything, but things that I didn't really see as a priority or see as something that I have to do now. Work, I'm going to stay consistent because I want to get money. School, I stayed consistent for one because I was scared to ever quit, because my grandma and my mama had put that fear in me a little bit. And I wanted to be in, like, I already knew I wanted to move away, but they was like, no, you're going to college. Like, it was just that simple. So quitting just in my eyes wasn't really an option. That wasn't a choice. Plus, of course, I want my degree. But yeah, I wasn't being consistent in certain things. My money not consistent. It was just, inconsistency is just around me, because I'm being that. And I didn't care for it, but I also didn't really admit it to myself at the time. So at that point, I was trying to make like I said, a strategic plan. This is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to go, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, life happened. So it didn't go as fast as I thought it was going to be. And like, again, like, here I was just trying to get here to where I'm doing it. It's actually a thing. I knew nothing about it. I'm still learning, but I knew nothing about it. So I'm like, I'm gonna just do what I know, and that's just to get up there and talk, even though that's very uncomfortable for me. But here we go. Here we are. Now, like, the reason that it hit me crazy, because, like, I'm trying not to cry on here. I've assumed that I would probably cry on an episode at some point. So I'm open for it. It is what it is. But I'm gonna try to stand my ground today, tonight. But when I read it just now, it hit me because the rushing, I feel my rushing now is probably emotionally. Maybe. And, like, it's not like I'm trying to get to a physical point or like something like this. It's more of just like I'm rushing myself to try to, like, no, not even rushing myself, but I'm just like, brush it off, like, get back up, let's go. Like, low-key I was almost not giving myself grace. I was almost like, yeah, they look like bear, like, and do something, or like I was trying so hard not to go back to being depressed or, being just emotionally unstable. I was trying so hard not to get to that. It was like, you're doing too much for me. It was like my brain was just like, you're doing way too much, bro. You're thinking too much. You're over analyzing too much. Like, just say what you feel. Be okay. If you don't feel like doing nothing today, cool. If you want to still be like productive, cool. Do something. Read a book. Write. Be creative in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you just don't need to do that. And as I see now, like, it's good that I didn't, and that I just did this instead, because, like, this feels just as great. So we're probably going to do this a lot more too, where I just read a poem that I've wrote, and we go off of it. And follow me on the socials. Facebook, I know I posted it up the most, but Facebook, Dayla Davis. You can also now find Royal Vision on Facebook as well. Vision spelled with the 5. You dig? And then on Instagram, I've been having to figure out which socials I got for real. On Instagram, follow me, royal.vision is spelled with an S, because I didn't think it was going to let me do the 5. Or I don't think it let me do the 5. Something like that. Anyway, royal.vision.thebrand5. Follow me on Instagram as well. And if you see a poem on there that you want me to, like, talk about, analyze, tell what was I thinking at the time, what was the tell me how you feel about me just reading. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah. And in the comments, make sure you tell me, like, if you like this or not, like me reading the pieces and just talking about where I was at the time, whatever the case is. Well, not even whatever the case is, but literally what we just did today. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you like it or not. If there's something you may want me to write about, you could drop those as well, or hit me in the DMs/inboxes, so you could tell me that, and we can, get something together, because I love doing that. I love collaborating in that way. I've never really collaborated with a poet before. So poets, if you watching this, hit your girl up. You did, because I have plenty of ideas. Like, I have ideas for us, but I don't know a lot of them, and I don't know places to go in my location, like where I'm at. So definitely hit me up. Again, the comments, inbox, DMs. You gotta follow me to be able to do that. So make sure you follow me, and yeah, and let me know. But we at the end of it, for like, that's really just what I wanted to talk about. Was just a matter of rushing yourself, us rushing ourselves, and what that do for us. It don't do nothing. but makes it like it runs you crazy. That's all it do for real. The point of us rushing is because we know we have to get somewhere and we think we're running late. When it comes to God's timing, when it comes to the things that you are supposed to do in life, when it comes to the things that you are like plotting on, working at, pursuing, there is no time limit, right? For example, college. You learn when you're in college. There is no set amount of years. Some people graduate early. Some people graduate late. Some people graduate on time. It's set up on how you are, right? It's set up on how you are, what your pace is, what your momentum is, right? And maybe even what your motivation is. What motivates me might not be what motivates you. Find your motivation and stay around it. And literally just, yeah, that's really it. I don't know. I feel like that was pretty good. I honestly don't know all I said. It came here and it just really came out. Let's just stop rushing ourselves, you guys. For those for those that is doing that. If you're not rushing yourself or, looking at other people's timelines, as in, oh my gosh, that person done graduated and I'm still in school. Or, oh my gosh, that person getting married and then had a baby and I'm here single. Or, oh my gosh, that person is well in their career and I'm over here still trying to figure it out. If you're not doing that, this wasn't for you. I greatly appreciate you making it this far. But if you are that person, let's just work on not doing it. There is no timeline. There is only time. Use it wisely. Use it as you need. Use it as you please. If it's something that you're like, you know what, that disappointed me. You disappointing yourself, that hits different. That's like a whooping versus your parents being disappointed in you. That thing hits different. Oh, that hits different. That hurt worse, honestly, in my opinion, because it hits you here in the heart. You dig? I was just hitting but it hits you in the heart, bro. So don't disappoint yourself because you're putting pressure on yourself. Put pressure on the thing that you're working at. Pressure does make diamonds. But it's not going to do nothing if you pass out because the pressure is too hard. Push yourself. Work out. Get that pain from, lifting those weights, lifting your body, whatever it is that you're doing. Running, conditioning. Feel that. Get that. Love it. Appreciate it. Those baby steps, appreciate them. But don't push yourself into an expectation that you cannot meet. That's like telling a girl that you just met, I'm going to take you to Red Lobster. And you know you ain't got no Red Lobster money. Don't lie to that girl like that. And don't lie to yourself. Do what you can do. Ask God for the help that you need. Even if you don't know what help it is. Sometimes my prayer is simply, God, I don't even know what it is that I need. But search my heart. You know what I need. Show it to me. If you want me to properly say it, articulate it, show it to me so I can really ask for that help. Don't be so hard on yourselves. We got to stop being so hard on ourselves. Give yourself the time. And it's crazy because I was literally just telling two of my oldest friends, because they just lost their grandma. And that's a pain that I know way too well, that I don't wish on nobody. And I was just telling them, take your time. I tell anybody that lost a loved one, period, but a grandparent, you gotta take your time in the grieving process. Do not think you have to be okay tomorrow. Do not think you have to be okay in a month. the thought of you being over it, even in a year, 2 years, 3, unrealistic. Unrealistic. And it's the same thing for your process and the things that you're pursuing, the things that you're doing, the things that you're working on. Whatever it is, whether it's going for a goal, whether it's becoming this person, I'll use mature for the lack of term, but this being, this molded being, just be patient with the time that you are taking in becoming that person. It's not just you that makes you that person. God does a lot of the work, and his time is not our time. Any church baby knows the saying. Any person that knows a church baby knows the saying. Any person that's ever visited a church, stepped foot in a church, a toe in the church, knows the saying. He may not come when you want it, but he is sure enough on time. A lot of things we grew up on are not just cliches. These are things that are real. I've been learning that throughout my times of living and growing. A lot of cliches be real. For real, for real. So I just, my gem is that. It's just be patient with yourself. Appreciate your baby steps. I'ma always say that. Appreciate your baby steps. Because that's within the grace that you give yourself. Continue to love yourself. And that's like all the gems that I really have. I appreciate you for coming in. I appreciate you for tuning in and listening to me. I really hope you enjoyed the poem. Please, again, comment. Let me know, you feel me, how you felt about the poem. If there's anything else you would like to hear about. I may have one that's already written. Or if you want to hear the holding on one, let me know. Just let me know. I'm here for it. I'm here for all the shenanigans. I'm not going to say y'all because y'all might come up with some crazy stuff. I'm like, hold up. We need to call us a community meeting. It's the end. So you know what I'm going to say to you. Stay positive, stay patient. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to myself, to be honest, as well. Stay patient, stay loving, stay graceful. And most of all, stay faithful. Stay faithful. Your faith gets you a long way. It helps you. When your feet not moving, faith is what's helping you go through it still. That's another gem. Stay faithful. And most of all, you know it. You got to. Say it with me. Stay royal. I'll see y'all.
Hey, yo, Ren, turn that up.